Remember how it was when you were dealing with the narcissist? No matter what you did, no matter how much you try to help them with their problems, they were never satisfied with it. It was never good enough for them. They always wanted something else, something more. They were never happy. And naturally, because we are empaths or codependents, conditioned from a young age to blame ourselves for their problems that they want us to solve and to make better for them. We blame ourselves for that. We assume that there must be something wrong with us. And of course, they don't want to take accountability for anything. They don't want to be the best version of themselves. So they just put it onto us. And they expect us to fix it for them. And we do try. We do everything we possibly can to try and make them happy. But no matter what you do, it is never good enough. It doesn't matter. And this is it, you know. It just leaves you feeling like, what is wrong with me? Why am I not good enough for them? Why can't I make them happy? And why not, even when I improve, even when I become greater than 99% of the people in the world would ever be for them? And it's still not enough, as many of you may have experienced. Because that's just it, you know. You quite literally are doing more for this person than anyone else has ever done for them in their entire lives. Than anyone else is ever going to do. Than their own families have done for them. That they could ever do for themselves. And yet they're not happy, they're not satisfied. And yet they're not demanding less. No. They are demanding more of your investment. Even when they go cold on you. Even when they go silent. Even when they ghost you. They want more investment, not less. And yet, the more that you give to them, the greedier they become. And the angrier they get. And it's because they just can't be satisfied. And yet they see you having practically nothing in comparison to them. And everything's just so easy, so effortless for you. You're happy with far less than them. So it's this comparison, you know, comparing themselves to you. And that is what makes you who you are. That is what makes you pure. Is that you're not greedy or demanding like they are. You're already full, and that's how you're able to give. You're able to provide. They can't do that for you because they are empty. They have nothing to give. They're coming around you for that energy. They're coming around you for your love. They're not coming around you to give anything to you. They haven't got nothing. But this is it. The more that you give to them, they're still not happy because they see you being happier with so much less. Or even if you have something, you're able to experience it deeply. You're able to enjoy it. They can't because they don't feel good about themselves. And because they're always in comparison mode. Always looking at everyone else, other people's lives. Feeling like theirs never measures up. But yeah, here's the peculiar thing about it that you may notice. Even when they replace you, and they do replace you with someone else, At first, it may seem that now they're so much happier. But if you give it time, you then see that now they're actually even more angry than when they were with you. And of course, this is because, as I mentioned earlier, no one else is going to be able to do as much as you did for them. No one else is ever going to be at that level. No one else is ever going to truly replace you. And yet, that's always what it's all about, is they're trying to turn someone else into you. And they're trying to turn it into a reflection of your interests, your dreams, your desires. Because that's what it's really missing, is you. And that's what they really want, is that control over you. And that's one of the main reasons why they replace you with a new supply, is to provoke jealousy and insecurity into you. Anything just to grab your attention, because they want nothing else, just you. They want you, they need you. Or they'll do anything just to get you, to feel like they own you, possess you. Because they know it even themselves, that there is nothing out there that can compare to you. And that's why having this control over you is that important to them. And that's why they get so angry when they leave and try to replace you. It's because they may have replaced you, but they haven't replaced the control that they once had on you. And now they've lost control. And without that control over you, they're left feeling insecure. Because the new supply doesn't give them what you gave them. And what you gave them was power. You made them feel empowered. You gave them drive, motivation, enthusiasm. That's what you supplied to them. To where they felt like they had the ability to determine your behavior and direct the course of events. Because you were their audience. You were their eyes and ears, like a baby, a sponge, just absorbing everything. And that's what they really crave. That's what they really want. And that's what they once had with you, when they had that control over you. But yeah, this anger that you're seeing from them, that is proof that you still hold emotional real estate in their minds. And this is it. It's actually you who has control over them. And you're able to control them because they're very insecure. They're very unsure about themselves. And yet they are flaunting the new supply to convince themselves that they have won. And that's all that it is. Because just being alone with a new supply, they can't convince themselves then. They've got to have your eyes and ears. You have to observe it to make it feel real for them. You have to watch it. That's why they flaunt it to you, because essentially you're like their parents, you're like their caretaker, their emotional caretaker. You pacify, appease them. So they're coming to you for validation, approval. And maybe they don't get it. So then what they do is they become intimidating. They go to provoking you. This is Another stage along of what they do when they are without supply, they become desperate. And again, the new supply is really just a desperation pick. They're nothing like you. They couldn't have that control over you the way they wanted to. If they could, then they likely would have stayed with you. Or they wouldn't have pushed you so far to where you had to get rid of them. So this is all about control. They want the control. They want to have a sense of power. Really, they wanted that over you. They couldn't get it though, so now they have to settle for this new supply. And yet it's not really doing it for them. What they really want is the power and control over you. That's what makes them feel alive more than anything else in this world. Is having power and control over you. And this rage that you're seeing from them, it's actually just a cover-up for envy and regret. They are rageful because they envy you. They envy your solitude, your peace, your healing. They just envy you. They envy your life. And that's the whole point of why they targeted you. They wanted to become you. They didn't want to share with you, build with you. They wanted to be you. But yeah, the rage is also a cover-up for regrets. They regret losing that control over you. If you can see I'm having difficulty swallowing a bit, it's because of the gang stalking harassment here in Colombo. It gives me quite a bit of anxiety and it dries up my mouth and my throat. So it makes it difficult to speak. But despite that, still just focus on the message, learn from this information. I'm going to keep going with it. But yeah, they do actually regret losing you. I mean, remember, right, you've seen the traits. You know you're dealing with someone who's highly narcissistic. You've seen the self-absorption, that complete lack of empathy for you, the grandiosity, the exploitative nature. You've seen all of this from them. And I did an interview with a diagnosed self-aware COVID narcissist, and I asked him, did you ever feel regrets discarding one supply and then going on to the next one? But even though you felt the regret, you still kept going with it? And he said, yes, many times. And it's because of the control. They can't control you the way that they can control someone else. This new supply. They're not going to be able to control you in that same way. That's why they target a new supply. But the new supply is nothing compared to you. They can't mirror the narcissist in the way that you once used to. And just remember, how important it was for them to mirror you and get you to view them as powerful, attractive, desirable. That's because, sorry I laugh at it, it's because the gang stalkers are just follow me wherever I go. You see there's this whole entire, that I get them coming right to me. I laugh sometimes because of the ridiculousness of it. But I get it, I am a source of light. So it does make sense. But yeah, You don't think about it, and you underestimate it. How good you make them feel. You make them feel gorgeous, handsome, beautiful, on top of the world. You make them feel empowered. That's why it's so important for them to get that supply from you. And this is why, even when they go off the new supply, they're still flaunting it to you. Because nothing that new supply can give them is ever going to make them feel as good, as attractive, as beautiful as you can make them feel. So that's why they're still returning to you for that. It's just many of you take it the wrong way. You assume that it's something negative about you, as though you weren't good enough for them. You were too good. They couldn't maintain the control over you. So that's why they left. That's why they found someone else. But yeah, what they really wanted was that control over you. They wanted your supply, your attention, your validation, not someone else's. That's just a desperation pick. That's just someone who's easy, who's there. That's just a chump, a simp. Just someone who they know they can take advantage of and see them as something that really they're not. I mean, with you, you made them feel amazing, yes. But they couldn't sustain that over a long period of time. The only reason they could get you to believe in the illusion initially is because you held on to the future thinking. You were thinking that something is actually going to come out of it. But all it did was slow you down, because it was only designed to drain your life and energy. You've got to remember, you know, these people are energy vampires. They're leeches, bottom feeders. They have no energy of their own. You empower them, you motivate, you drive them. You are their battery. Without you, there's nothing. And that's why they got to flaunt it to you and leave you feeling like you're missing out on something. And yeah, this is why they're so mad, because your indifference ruins the illusion. They need you to be invested in it, to believe in it. Without your belief, to them it feels like it doesn't even exist. You must be the observer of it. So the power is with you. It's all based on your perspective of them. And never forget, you were their source of supply. All they've got now is a substitute. Someone who is your replacement, but never someone who is on your level. Never someone who is an adequate replacement for what you once provided to them. And let me make it clear. You made them feel on top of the world, larger than life. You empowered them. You made them feel beautiful, attractive. Naturally, that's how you feel anyway. You just automatically feel confident. You have the self-belief. They rob you of that by getting you to direct it over to them. They convert your self-confidence into hope in them, faith in them. That's how they get you to give your power and energy away. And that's all that they can do. They can't do anything else. And what you're seeing with this new supply, that's a false image. It's a false display powered by other people, an audience. It's not anything that they're getting from each other. Or even if it is, if the new supply isn't a narcissist in some cases, it's nothing compared to what you gave. But yeah, this is why it's so important for them to show you how happy they are. It's because they're not. Listen, someone who's really happy, they don't have to put on a display about it. They don't have to show you, prove to you. They're overcompensating. Why is it so important for them to make you think that they're happy? Because it's a competition. They're insecure and they know you're going to be so much happier without them. Especially when you realize that they're not really happy, even after replacing you. And why would you care? Why would you think anything of them? And that's just it. They want you to be fixated on them, thinking, obsessing over them. I mean, of course, you're just confused. After what they did to you, they abused you, manipulated you, and then just discarded you. So, you're confused about what just happened. You're looking for answers. They don't really care, unless they're a cerebral narcissist. They're not thinking, oh, you're just chasing after me now because you want answers. They convert it into something else in their minds about how it's, they're so sexy, they're so attractive. That's why you're chasing after them. Even though they deliberately orchestrated that way to create confusion, they literally tell themselves in their minds that no, you're confused about something else. That's what they do. And yeah, they can't stand that you have moved on. Got more stalkers. I'm trying to remain professional. I'm trying to just keep smiling, keep giving a message. I mean, honestly, really, I'd rather just throw up all over the grass right now. But of course, as a life coach, a motivational speaker, professionalism is very important. So, you guys are my priority here. And I'm remaining focused on you. But yeah. They can't stand that you have moved on without collapsing. Because, what they really want is, once they've come in and they've stolen from you, your essence, your energy, likely your money as well, you were probably taking care of them financially. They want you to be destroyed after they go. After they move on to someone else. They want you to be so hopeless to where you're like driven insane, or you're like attempting suicide, or you're homeless, you've got no money, nothing. And they want to feel like there's no chance of you ever healing, ever recovering. Because you're so broken, you're so hurt. And it's like your life, it all just revolved around them. And like that's, that's all that your life ever was just about them. That's how they want to leave. That's how they want you to be feeling after they're gone. So what's the point of you even living? What's the point of you even getting up every day? What's the point in you doing anything now that they're gone? And, some of them may even come back and tell you, as you may have heard, why don't you just kill yourself? Like, what is the point of your life without me? Of course, that's going to be more the overt narcissist that will say that. But sometimes even the coverts, they may even come out, you know, they'll develop that sense of arrogance, that confidence, fake confidence, as a result of leaving you after making you make your entire life about them. Because that's what they do. The moment that they've got you and they know you're not going anywhere, they lose interest. They just put you on the shelf and then their eyes are elsewhere. But yeah, that's what they want. They want you to be broken down, destroyed, ruined, just over with, so that they don't have to feel regret, and so that they can then just move on comfortably with a sense of security in themselves and in what they're moving on to. So that's really what they're trying to do. And the reason why they're so angry is because, just take a look at the mirror, just look at yourself. You're still living. You're still breathing. You're still healthy. So you haven't given up. You're not depressed. You're still looking at yourself like thinking, hey, I'm still worth something. I'm still something of value. You haven't defeated me. You haven't destroyed me. You haven't pushed me over the edge. I'm still able to do what I need to do. And nothing winds them up more than that. And when they do these things, they provoke you, you know, they just want to destroy you, and you do not react. And this is it, you know, all of the things that they do. Like they will cheat on you and they will record it and send you a video of it. They actually don't get anything out of doing that unless they see that you're reacting to it. That's all they want, is your feelings, your emotions, your essence to be a part of them. They want that energy transfer because they are the ones who don't like themselves. They just refuse to admit it. And that's why they can't ever be themselves. You know, they operate with a false character. They abandon their true self. And yeah, they just put it all onto you. They just put it all onto you. It's like they come along with a wheelbarrow full of garbage and just dump it in front of your feet. They're like, this is yours now. And yet at the same time, they love it when you react negatively to it. It's a delusional. But yeah, it's such a horrible feeling of having these people like coming so close to me. I think it's especially because, you know, as you can see, it's such a big place. You know, there's so much just empty space here. But then people literally come within like less than a meter of where I am. That's what these people are like, you know, they cross boundaries, they invade your personal space. They destroy your sense of self, your identity. Until before you know it, you're left chasing after them, thinking that you need them. Just like the narcissist does, but hey, you never needed them. You were manipulated, you were brainwashed into chasing after something you never needed. And that's the truth. And now that you're waking up to this truth, they lose control. And like I said, that new supply is a desperation pick. And what they're doing, flaunting it, that's an act of desperation. It's really just their last resort. Trying to leave you feeling like you're missing out. You're not missing out on nothing. The best thing you can ever do with these types of people who just only thinking about themselves and they're exploiting you, the best thing you can do is get rid of them. Go to contact. You think that you need them. You feel like you're obsessed with a narcissist. You're not. You were manipulated, brainwashed, groomed. And that's the truth. You're in the narcissistic fog, fear, obligation, and guilt. Once you wake up out of it, you will wonder why you were ever with them. And you may look back months, years later at a picture of you and them together, and you'll be thinking, what was I doing with that? As many of you may be thinking already. Because you were manipulated, you were groomed, you were charmed. Narcissists, you know, they have a false character. And it's the manipulation, you know, it can seem, it can pull you in initially. You know, that's what they're very good at doing, is just giving you a hit of dopamine, giving you a sense of reward, like you're so lucky, so fortunate to be with them, to be around them. And then afterwards, as it is with all narcissists, psychopaths, you feel worse. You feel like you're missing something. You're just craving that dopamine. It's like a drug, and the problem is you're craving the dopamine from something that's really bad. Something that is far less than your standards. And I'm not just talking about in physical appearance, I mean morals. Because just remember the type of person you're dealing with. Someone who's manipulative and deceptive. But of course you want more for yourself than that. 74 live viewers, give it a thumbs up if it's good for you so far. I'm just limping through the grass here. My body feel like it's gradually decaying, shutting down. Oh, it's horrible getting all of these weird stares from these people. If it was a beautiful woman, I wouldn't be complaining. I am single. But yeah, that's how you know that yes, we've woke it up. But yeah, let me know if you've got any questions. I apologise if my usual voice tone isn't up to par. As you can probably hear and see, there's a lot of tension around the throat area, as there isn't always, and my mouth is very dry. That's because of it's the anxiety, you know, it's being suffocated. These types of people, they want to dominate, own, possess you. You know, that's just the type of personalities of gang stalkers. And so, of course, you know, I'm dealing with the effects of it. I never feel comfortable around these types of people. It does not make me feel good. I value my freedom. I value my authenticity. That's just the way that I am, you know. I'm always going to be that way. I'm always the same. But yeah, let's see if I can sit down and just try and rest my body a bit. Because of course, you know, my nervous system has been targeted. So I'm experiencing anxiety, slightly heightened emotions and nervousness. It's not a good feeling being around narcissists. But the good thing is, I have the awareness. I know that I'm around narcissists. You know, a psychologist, Rosenberg, has mentioned, we have this narcometer where you just feel like something is off and you get the tension in your solar plexus. Even psychologist Rosenberg has said that. That's so you know that yes, you're around narcissists, people with mental illnesses. narcissistic personality disorder. That's who you know is when you get the tightness. So pay attention to that, when you see someone in public. They have a lot of tension around the chest, the throat area. Difficulty speaking, expressing themselves. That could be a sign that they're dealing with a narcissist. Okay, I'm sitting down in the shade now. Now I've got to focus on my healing. But at this point, I've healed thousands of times, so it's routine for me. And at this point, I've narrowed it down to the exact neural circuitry in the brain I can heal in minutes. I mean, not fully 100% heal, but I can ground myself, I can calm my nervous system down, everything, in minutes. Because I've done it thousands of times now, I've had to. Because this is a daily thing for me. But yeah, let me know if you've got any questions. Drop it down below in the live chat. And I'll read them out and answer them. Just sitting out here. See, as you can see where I was walking, there's no one there. And yet you could see all of these people walking close to me every few seconds. So, work that out. Of course, I think you're used to seeing this in many of my videos over the past couple of years. This is where I got targeted. Initially, remember I mentioned everyone was wearing these pink shirts. And that's when I was initially targeted. So, yes, gang stalking, narcissism is very common in Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, Taiwan, Philippines, Japan. In all of those countries, gang stalking, mental illness, narcissism is very common. And it's not just me saying that. There's other YouTubers saying the same thing. You can see lots of videos of this online. And of course, it's because these people in these countries, they're not happy with their lives, they're not happy with their families, their spouse, their children, their job. They're not happy with any of it. Because, and I can prove this right now, like if you've got a happy family waiting for you, if you've got a good job that you look forward to, if you've got the man you want, the woman you want, money, you're not going to waste your time stalking anyone. Why would you bother? If someone came up to you and asked you to do it, you just say, no, I've got too much going on. So that's how you know, this is what it comes down to, is dissatisfaction. And actually this is proven in stalker psychology. But yes, these are miserable lowlifes. And of course I'm not saying that everyone in my surroundings is a stalker. No, of course not. But of course there's bound to be some good, normal people around here too. But it does make you think that it's everyone. When they pull you into it, it makes you think that everyone is bad. Of course it's not. Now that's really what you need, is to look around and try and find good people. And focus your energy on them. Of course, they're not going to be the ones who are going out of their way trying to prove to you there's nothing wrong with them. Those are the ones who are more messed up than anyone else. They're overcompensating for it. But yeah, I can say, I have met good people. In every country that I've been to. Genuine people. The problem is that it is less common because even psychologist Dr. Ramani, she has mentioned that 1 in 6 people are narcissists. And in cities, It could be 1 in 5, it could be even more. So think about it. I'm in a city right now. More than 1 in 5 people are narcissists. How many narcissists are you? This is what I mean. And even then, outside of narcissists, you've got people who just have narcissistic traits. You've got all of the other cluster B disorders, cluster A, cluster C, cluster D. And then you've got just toxic people. And yeah, I seen a statistic online as well that said 96% of families in the entire world are dysfunctional by a family clinic. And maybe the other 4% might just be the recovering ones. That's just it. And some of you may think, oh, what about children? Are children dysfunctional? Well, that's it. Children, these days, are more dysfunctional than anyone else. Just look at the statistics. Children are dealing with depression at a very young age. Sometimes as young as 3 or 4. They're already dealing with mental illness. And, they're addicted to social media. And, there's been so many reports I've seen online. School children being bullied and taking their own lives. And it's even so bad that even after they take their own lives, then the other school kids, they go in their social media and then they say horrible things. I can't remember what they said. It was something really bad. Something like, I'll see you in hell or something. I don't know. It was a really bad comment anyway. But yeah, it's really extreme. So children are not exempt. And in fact, if you do your research, children are often more mentally ill than anyone else. Especially young teenagers. And this is why we have to be very careful with our children. Because, what they're learning in schools and being around other children, most of them are messed up. And you can see it, and it's like, you can see in people who are maybe in their early mid-20s, and you just look at the state of them. You look at their mental health and the activities they engage in. They were better 5-10 years ago, before that. So, they're getting older in their early mid-20s, they're worse. How crazy is that? Well, for me, I just kept getting better. And I know I'm mispronouncing my words. It's because of the gang stalking harassment. But yeah, the older that people get, the worse they get these days. There used to be a time where the older people get, the better they get. And we used to respect our elders. Now, it seems that people idealize the youth when they're more messed up than anyone else. And yet people see them as their role models. It's crazy. I'm going to stand up now. I think they've already exhausted that position out of me. But this is it. It's all about movement. As you may notice, when I move, when I change position, remember, narcissists, psychopaths, it's all about dopamine with them. Now, when you change position, when you move, it's giving you a dopamine release. So it's still able to fuel you, motivate you. And that's all these people really do, is they demotivate because they are empty. But yeah, don't take my word for it. Try it out yourself. You know, when you're being abused by the narcissist, just move your body. It's proven in psychology, you know. Exercise, walking, dancing. It can really help victims of abuse. But now I got to take a sip of water. My mouth is getting really dry. That's what this does to me. But yeah, why are they angry? Why are they angry? Even after replacing it with a new supply? Because they don't feel good about themselves. Sorry, I apologise for the noise. I'm going to move over the side. Yeah, why are they still angry even after replacing you with a new supply? It's because they still don't feel good about themselves. They don't feel empowered. They don't feel attractive. They feel ugly. And that's really what it is. And that's why they get so angry. That's why they get so mad. They're mad because they feel ugly inside.
Hi, sir.
Sorry, I'm a bit busy. I gotta go over this. You see what I mean? I just get chased around all the time. I don't know why. People go just look at me like I'm an idiot. But yeah, again, the reason why the narcissist gets so mad, it's because they don't feel good about themselves. They feel ugly inside. And this is it. It doesn't matter how good they look on the outside, as some narcissists do, you know, let's be honest, but inside they can still just feel like they're nothing. They feel inadequate. And of course, a big part about that is going to be physical, because image is everything to them. All that matters to them is their image. They don't care about anything else. So it's because the new supply isn't good enough to support their image. They've still got their eyes elsewhere. They're still comparing. And still feeling like they don't measure up. That's what this is. But as long as they had that control over you, it made them feel good about themselves. It made them feel attractive. They didn't want to share that with you, though. You were the platform. You were the buffer. You were the safety net so that they could go out and seek out other sources of supply. Because then they had something that they could show off to other people, not knowing that you were the creator of that. And this is it. Anywhere they go, the new supply, they're not really attracted to the narcissist. They're attracted to you. They're attracted to your essence, your energy. And even the narcissist, they still just want you. That's why they're trying to turn the new supply into you. So you can see how it works. Again, I apologise for all of the craziness, all of the distractions. I mean, it is like just... it's like being in a zoo here. It's very wild. But yeah, let me know if you've got any questions. I will read them out, respond to them. Type it down again. I'm sorry if I missed it. You know, there's so much, just attention whores everywhere here. Everyone here wants my attention. Everyone wants to be me. Everyone wants to own me. You know, I can't say that I blame them. I am a very hard-working, disciplined, stable person, so of course, you know, it's These are desirable qualities that many people may lack. But yeah, I wouldn't trust anyone with anything of value. Whether it's in a friendship, relationship, I couldn't trust them to be loyal. You know, the first thing I look for is discipline, stability, consistency over time. If you're having a conversation with someone and it's up, down, up, down, up, down, massive red flags. If someone can maintain an equilibrium even while being provoked, massive green flag. Because that tells you they're going to be in a stable environment. But yeah, as soon as I see instability, it's no investment from me. You know, it's like stocks and shares. You know, when you see it, it's just so unstable. It's a huge risk. There has to be some stability there. And yeah, that's what I really want in my life. But of course, you know, you have to be what it is that you want to attract. So we must stabilize ourselves first. We must heal. Yeah, if you see any trolls who are making any random comments, you know, such as, is this life? Just ignore it. They're just looking for a reaction, looking for a problem. You know, they're not all just like completely, they're not all like elderly people who have never used technology, never used YouTube before. They act naive so that, you know, you trust them and you try and help them, and then that's how they gain control over you. Now look. Now this guy's making fun of me now. See, I told you I was limping because of the gang stalking. So now they put this guy here with a prosthetic leg. What next? Like they're trying to say, oh, it's going to be you next. Next you're not going to have a leg. Or next year, you're just going to have a head, just like on a table or something, and you're just paralyzed for eternity. That's you now. I still want to satisfy them anyway. But yeah, very difficult to see the screen though. I'm walking around everywhere, but there's no shade. So it's difficult to see the screen. I mean, it's another common thing that I've noticed, you know, in most of the countries I've been to, they're not really like blogger friendly. The Wi-Fi signal and just people coming around you all the time, the harassment. Not as good as the UK. I don't think there is any shade here. Like, no matter what you do, it seems. It's like wherever you go, it's still just directly positioned under the sun. This heat is very intense, but I'm also trying to get away from people. The amount of men I've had today, like, coming close to me, and they're literally looking at my eyes like they're trying to make out with me or something. There are definitely, you know, a lot of like closet homosexual people in a lot of these Asian and Middle Eastern countries that I've been to. Because for me to look at another man, you know, with like a making out face, like I'm ready to kiss them, I wouldn't be able to do that. But yeah, that's what they do. They're looking like they've got stars in their eyes, like they've met the love of their life. It's weird, but you know, I'm just saying what I'm seeing with my own eyes, and not just what I'm seeing once, what I'm seeing repeatedly, dozens, if not hundreds of times a day. And it's what you are seeing too. You know, you see it in the back of my videos, or you see it in my shades. I know many of you do. But yeah, what makes me smile is still knowing that they don't get what they really want, because what they'd really like to do is literally destroy me. Like literally, like murder me. Like beat me to death or something. That's what they really like to do. And only then can they move on to the new supply. Whatever the gang stalker's new supply is. Because that's what they have to do. That's what they want to do, is they want to destroy us. And, you know, they're always in the moment. They don't see what's coming next. So they always set themselves up for failure. They don't see that I'm going to heal again and again and to no end. So it's really just stupidity. It's like they really believe that once they've destroyed me, that's it, I'm never coming back. It takes me minutes to heal, to center myself again, and to calm my nervous system. It doesn't take me long to do that. So it is ridiculous, you know, having all of these weirdos coming around me, and I see other viewers are talking about the gang stalking. You know, at this point, I must have had well over 1 million views just on my gang stalking videos alone. It's a very common thing in the world today. I've seen videos with millions of views on gang stalking. It's common. And actually, everyone is being gang stalked by governments and large corporations. Everyone is being watched in their homes, their bedrooms, through their TV, cameras, microphones, phones, computers. Everyone is. Everyone is being tracked. And that's how you can do something in your home, or you can talk about it. You go into Google, what do you see? A promotion about it. Or even if you just think about it in your mind, you don't even speak it, you don't even do anything, Google will still display an ad for that to you, to what you're thinking in your mind. And you can test it again and again and get the same result at the same time. And get the same result at the same time. It's crazy. But yeah, you know, what you expect, you know, when you interact with crazy, sick people, it's going to make you sick. It's going to make you crazy. Of course it is, you know, just like if you get around someone who has a physical disease, you're going to catch that disease. Same thing with, being directed out here to the sun again. This is what they do. They come around and they push me out the shade. And then they send someone else, like, smiling in my face like they just won the lottery. But I get it. You know, I am the jackpot. I am that winning lottery ticket for them. In their world, at least, because that's what they think, you know, black or white mentality. All good or all bad, perfect or flawed. I mean, in reality, I'm not perfect. I'm just human. But that's what they think, because they have an arrested emotional development. It's a child's mind. All right, let's try again now. I'm sitting down again. Until another weirdo comes over and harasses me. For real though, H says narcissists that look good, they are more sick than we are. You know, I am someone who, if you see my Instagram, I do value and admire beautiful people, beautiful women. I've dated lots of them. And so of course I know that yes, you know, what you're saying is true. Typically, the more beautiful someone is, the more messed up they are in their heads. Because think about it. If you're physically attractive, you're going to attract a lot of horrible people who just want to come after you and use you and just bask in your essence. And yeah, you know, some of the most attractive women that I've met, they all told me how they experienced incest in their families, from cousins, uncles, everything, at a very young age, before they were even teenagers. So of course, you know, these things can mess you up. And then even after that, you know, there's predators everywhere. In the world today, there's rapists. There's so many horrible people who target attractive people. And also, you know, just being attractive, it's like on one hand they believe that they are perfect, but then beauty doesn't really have any physical value, any practical value. So then on the other hand, they don't have any value. That can produce narcissism. It's all just image, it's all just surface based. That's what narcissism is. Narcissism is all about the image, all about what's on the surface, not going deeper into it. And of course, most people, they interact with beautiful people solely based on their physical attractiveness. They don't care about their qualities. They don't care about their true personality. They don't care about any of that. So yeah, you may find that the more beautiful someone is, the more messed up they are in the mind. But that's just it, you know. I would say anyone who has a lot of people around them, anyone who is connected to a lot of people, not just on the internet, you know, in real life, there has to be a lot of things wrong with them. Because most people are messed up. So how can they relate? How can they connect? For real though, H says they idealize brain rot. It's hilarious. They think that's how life works. They got genuine issues. Yeah, that's what they relate to because that's the state of how it is for them. You know, they're experiencing brain rot all the time. Sorry, I'm a bit busy. I'm doing a live video. Sorry, I'm busy. You can't talk to anyone, guys. It doesn't matter what you're doing in your life. They always think their life is more important. You could be blogging, doing a live video on YouTube. They'll come up to you and expect you to drop everything. Just drop your entire life for them, like they're the most important person in the world. But they will never do anything for you in return, though. It's always one-sided. But, you know, maybe that's why they come to me for help. Because, you know, that's how you build, that's how you grow, is by collaborating, is by connecting. People who are all about themselves, it never gets them very far. It never does. It gives them a short spike, you know, they feel like they got it, then it slips out of them faster than they ever expect. But yeah, it's the brain rot, is because that's what they are experiencing. That's already their mental composition. It's what it's made up of. As the saying goes, crazy makes you crazy. They can only give you what they've got. Sunnyflower says, I avoid people like the plague. Yeah, that's definitely the best thing to do these days. I mean, most people are really messed up. Statistics prove that. So, yeah, and I found myself, you know, as soon as I just spent some time alone, I got away from people. All of a sudden, I become successful on YouTube. I'm traveling the world. That all came from just me being alone. Me just not wanting to be around people. And yet I've never found anyone in my life do anything good for me. And yet they all want to act like they're something. And it's like, what have you ever actually accomplished in your entire life? That's the irony of it, you know, people who always, you know, they want to boast about things. Even if they had 1,000,000 years on this earth, they couldn't accomplish even a fraction of what I have in just a couple of years. And that's the reality of it. And yet I'm the type of person where I never talk about it. Because you don't need to. But they will come on to you and they will attack you. And you've got to remind yourself of who you are. Because these people, they rely on these delusions just to get by. I'm just scrolling through the live chat here. John Tracy says they target your nervous system. Proof of evil intent. Yeah, of course it is. It's evil, it's demonic. The things that they do, it's not of God's. It's really bad. They are degenerated. They're rotten inside. And that's how they engage in such degrading behaviors. It's so negative. But no amount of positivity or optimism from you could ever pull them out of the hellhole that they live in. You can't save these people. They will drag you down to hell with them. With all of your optimism, all of your positivity. You can't save them, you can only save yourself. Lorraine Diane says the only relationship they have is with themselves. You're a spare part. Well, that's just it. They actually don't even see you. You are merely a representation of someone who they felt threatened by in childhood. It could have been a parent. It could have been a child that they were triangulated with. Someone who they felt inferior to. You are a representation of that. They don't even see you. How could they see you? They never take the time to get to know you or have a conversation with you. They didn't even care to. They didn't even know who you are. And this is most people who are dealing with unhealed trauma that they are not reflecting on. They see the world through trauma. And that becomes their life. They don't see people. All they see is a reflection of their own insecurities. And they cannot see past it. Oh, that's brilliant. I like that, Lorraine Diane. Lorraine Diane says they pretend they're the pill for your headache when they're the headache. That's the crazy thing about it. I'm gonna move over here now because the music is getting quite loud. But yeah, that's just it. They want to act like they are the medicine, the pill for your headache, when they are the cause of your headache. They are what's producing this irritation through the abuse. They are not ever going to provide any healing for you. That's never going to happen. They are what's making you sick. And that's why as soon as you get away from them, what happens? As it always does, you get better. You feel more energetic, you feel more alive. Didn't feel that way when you were around them. You felt dead inside. And that's how you know, yes, they are the sickness. They are what's making you sick. Because how is it that you move away from them and you get better, you heal? And then they come back again, you get sick again. How much more proof do you want? That's it. Yeah, well said, Lorraine Diane, I like that. But yeah, it looks like there is no place. I can't think of the word right now. Because when you get around these types of people, remember these gang stalkers, these narcissists, they have an arrest and emotional development. Psychologically, they are at the age of maybe, I don't know, maybe between 3 and 7 years old. That's why they're so immature, so childish. So of course it affects you cognitively because, you know, they're not cognitively developed. So you soon forget big words. You can't articulate things because they damage the same part of the brain that is damaged in them. The amygdala, the hippocampus, which is for learning, memory, focus. So it really just, it hinders your cognitive ability, your learning, and your memory. But don't worry about me, I can heal all of this. You know, researching about this now for over 8 years, I am able to heal the damage that it has caused to the brain. And also what can help, you know, especially if you're experiencing an inflammation or internal bleeding in the brain, even just taking ibuprofen, aspirin, that can really help a lot. And maybe putting an ice pack on your head just to reduce the swelling. And most importantly, you know, just being in a calm, safe space, because your body does most of the work when it comes to the healing. But that's what a big part of it is. It's healing the brain damage. Because, you know, you're around brain damaged people whose brains are miswired. Their brains, the neurocircuitry is all screwed up as a result of their trauma. So they reverse and rewire your brain as well, because theirs is messed up. And of course that causes damage. But yeah, I don't think there is no safe, peaceful sanctuary. You know, another thing they like to do is they do this for their hands, and then they put it between their legs. That's a common thing that I've seen in here in Sri Lanka and the Philippines. But, you know, as most people have already observed, Professor Sam Vaknin has already noted that narcissists, sadists, they are driven by their sex drive. This is Professor Sam Vaknin. He coined the term narcissistic abuse. And I already knew this was true even before you mentioned it. And so, of course, it's the same thing with gang stalkers because, you know, they're highly narcissistic as well. Yeah, it's like a desert out here. There's nowhere to really shade you from the sun. It's a perfect place for sunbathing if you want to get really dark. But if you're looking to protect yourself from skin cancer, it's probably not the best place to be. I'm just walking around trying to find even just one place. I don't think there is anywhere. Today, on the bright side, I'm going to Dubai in 2 days. Yeah. Yeah. I said I was going to go to Saudi Arabia and I booked it. I booked the flights, booked the hotel. I will be in Dubai in 2 days. So, you know, that should be fun. And actually, I did book Dubai about 4 years ago, but then the COVID came in, and already I had a nice hotel booked. I had a Chevrolet Camaro SS, 6-litre V12 engine, same engine size as the Aston Martins, which my father drives. And I was all ready to go, but unfortunately it all just shut down then. And then I tried to go to Tel Aviv, Israel, the most expensive city in the world, closed down. Singapore. But finally I will be in Dubai now in 2 days, and I'm looking forward to it. And then after Dubai, I'm going to explore Africa. I will be flying to Ghana, because that's meant to be, quite a safe place. And, from what I've experienced so far, African people, they're very friendly, very nice, just easygoing people. They're down to earth. So, that's what I really like. I've had some African friends in the past. And as many of you know, my daughter, she's mixed race. She is mixed African-American, Welsh and Sri Lankan, a very unusual, rare mix. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well, going to Ghana. Let me know if anyone's in Dubai or Ghana. Let me know, maybe we can meet up. But yeah, it's something to look forward to, because obviously right now I'd rather be anywhere else other than here. It's just a horrible feeling, being around these types of people, being harassed and not anything that I want to be involved with. The opposite of the kind of people that I like. I just like good, kind-hearted people who are more like myself. I don't like people who are damaged, messed up, crazy, resentful, just looking to attack innocent people just because they're envious, jealous, whatever. I just hate people like that. It's not my fault, what's happened to someone else in their life. If their life isn't how they want it to be, I've done my best, I've been making these videos, got over 50 million views. I've coached hundreds of people around the world. I'm doing my best to help people. I can't do much about narcissists. And that's not what they want anyway. They just want you to be their supply, just to validate and fuel their disorder. They're not looking to heal. So why should I sacrifice myself, my life, for them, just so they can go off and abuse other people as well? It makes no rational sense. But then that's the whole point, they're crazy. But yeah, right now I can't see anything on the screen. The sun is scorching today. And as you can see, there's no shades anywhere. I'm just trying to get out of here because I got all of these people they look like they're about to come up and start humping my leg or something. They're coming so close. I'm just the type of person who values personal space. know, what I can say is that many of the children that I visited in some of these countries are not so bad. You know, they do seem quite happy, quite friendly. So that's something good that I can say about it. Of course, I don't know how long that will last. Probably not very long. Probably not very long. But right now, it's a lot of chaos. You know, a lot of people just... You could probably see my shades. I'm walking down and they time themselves so they can get up close with me. And then they're doing all of these hand gestures. It's crazy. Because that's just it, you know, they view us as extensions of themselves. You know, in their minds, they are the sun, you are the earth. You orbit around them. And they expect you to want what they want. There's no having a conversation, no opportunity to ask questions. It's just, you want this. This is what you want. And it's done. Simple as that. No input from you required. This is what it's like when you deal with them. It's crazy. And yeah, from that point on, you're walking on eggshells, doing everything you can so that they don't have to feel their own shame. And that's how you end up getting brainwashed. It's the fear, obligation, and guilt, the narcissistic fog. All that is you walking on eggshells to save them from themselves, to save them from imploding inwards. Yeah, this is why these people, they always come back, you know, because their faulty programming, it never leads to success. They just self-sabotage, they just ruin themselves. Someone with that mindset, it's not going to get them far. It never will. You are the one who will succeed, they will have to come back to you. But yeah, it seems there is no end to the openness here. I mean, you can walk for kilometers, there is no shade. I don't know why they make it like this. It's honestly, I've never seen anything like this. Like, just take a look at this, you know, it's well over 30 degrees Celsius. The sun, no shades. There's no shade behind these trees. Yeah, they bring the children in as well. That's a common thing that they do. And then they get them to make eye contact to make you feel bad for them or something. Because of course, you know, they groom their own children. In all honesty, I'm not interested in any of these people yet. I'm not interested in their lives, nothing. If you can see in my videos, I'm always walking away. They are always coming to me. I'm always trying to get away. I'm trying to just be by myself. It's just they're delusional, they have fantasies. And they view you as an extension of them. They don't view you as separate. So they don't realize that. They can't even see. Just like a rapist, you know, a woman could be running for her life. In the rapist's mind, it's like, oh, you're just playing hard to get. So they think. Delusional. They can't take the hint, the cue, that you're not interested. That you just want to be by yourself. But yeah, I think the only thing you can do is just get cooked here. I mean, you have to just get baked out here. There isn't another option. I mean, I've been walking out for like an hour. The only thing you can do is like rent a hotel room here. And then you can go inside. Or go in the mall. I would have done that, but of course, you know, that's one of the main narcissistic hotspots is in the mall. But yeah, now I know what it feels like to be in a desert. Where it's like all you want is just some shade. Can't there just be a tree? This is what it feels like. Oh, I think there might be a wall down here. Let me take a look down here. There'll probably be something else weird waiting for me down here. But, you know, if anyone's watching this and they're worried and, you know, you're seeing my my cognition gradually deteriorating over time in this video from all of the harassment, don't worry about it. You know, I am an expert on this. I know what I have to do to heal. So I've done it many times before. I can rewire my brain back the way that it needs to be. Now let's see, I think there is actually some shade down here. And that means I can finally read the live chat again and see what people are saying. I have got a couple of maniacs coming down. They can see me down here. I'll go to the toilet. Now this is a much better energy. Yes, it's much better. Listen to these waves. Yeah. You see the shift once I get away from the gang stalkers. And I know many of you can relate to this. All we need is to get away from gang stalkers, get away from narcissists, and instantly we rise. They are the ones who are in hell in their minds. And all they're ever going to do is drag you down to hell with them. You do not belong there. And that's why for you, it doesn't feel right. But yeah, this feels so much better. A much lighter energy. It's nature. Now let me come into the shade here. Let's see. What are people saying here? This is it. This is why they always come back. Because we are always going to heal once we have some time alone. They're always going to be stuck in hell in their minds. They have to come back to you. And you're seeing it in real time, you know, how I get away, the gang stalkers, the narcissists, and I feel much more free, much more happier. All it took was for me to come down by the sea, just to get away from all those people. I'm looking through the live chat here. Sunshine says, remember this, narcissists envy you because they can't be you. That's it, they want to be us. They see our happiness, they want to feel how we feel. Because yeah, when we're away from them, it feels good. We feel free. Joanna Mikkonen is laughing about that comment I made. You just play hard to get. That's what they think. The narcissist is like a rapist. You could be running away. That's what they're thinking if they're chasing after you. They can't accept that you don't want them. They're never going to accept that. They will return back to the manipulation. Hey, check this out. That's the Lotus Tower. It's like a giant lotus flower. And you know the lotus position in yoga? That's when you sit with crossed legs like an open lotus flower. But yeah, I've been up there before. Some really nice views of the city. You know, that's one good thing they did do, really, was building the Lotus Tower. Because it is a landmark, you know, it's the city isn't the same without it. And it's beautiful, you know, it's really nice architecture. Hopefully they will maintain it. Because, you know, that's how it is sometimes. Like with the aesthetics of architecture. If it's not maintained properly, then it doesn't look so good. Now they're doing staged couples, fake relationships. I've seen it all, you know, I've had people like follow me around, hugging, kissing, touching each other's bodies. And I heard from someone else, on Miami Beach, they were even physically having sex in front of her. It's crazy, you know, they are exhibitionists. And they like to have an audience. Problem is, it doesn't make any sense because they want their audience to be better than them. It should be the other way around. It's just they can't get it to be the other way around. But like I said, I told you they would come back. You know, I was alone here. Now they're all coming in. Almost crashing into each other just to get you. John Tracy says street theatre off the scale. Yeah, I'm glad you can see it because it is quite open, it is, you know, quite blatant, but they're not overt, you know, they don't completely come out, and they do chase me, but they make it look like they're chasing something else. So, yeah, they do try to hide, you know, they are afraid of being exposed. So it's good that you can see it, you can notice it. And yeah, if you look back through all of my live videos, it's, you know, the noise campaigns, people following me, it is really extreme. And despite this, going through this since 2016, mentally, I have better mental health than all of them, easily. No matter how much they try to damage me, I continue to heal. So, they're just destroying themselves with their own delusions. But yeah, definitely, you know, the couple street theatre, it's a big thing. I even did a video of that. It had thousands of views, hundreds of comments. It's because they have a dysfunctional relationship that they're not happy with. They're insecure about it. And they are jealous of you being by yourself. Otherwise, they wouldn't even care about it. And at first, you may not have even noticed it. It's because repetition fuels belief. They do it all the time. So eventually it breaks down your confidence and makes you insecure. It makes you that way. Not because you already were that way. It's the repetition. They hammer it into you. So don't identify with it. It's nothing to do with you. They are the ones who are insecure about their own, if it's even a real relationship. It's not a real relationship anyway, it's not exclusive. If it was, there wouldn't be a third party. You wouldn't be involved in it. What kind of a relationship is that? Not one I want to be in. When I have a girlfriend, when I get married, I'm not sharing it with anyone. She's going to be all mine and I'm going to be all hers. We're not going to include strangers in it. That's never going to happen. But yeah, that's what these weirdo gang stalkers like to do. Leanne Newman says they pound it into you like a nail. Exactly, that's right. They hammer into you. They force you to adopt these beliefs. Now they're coming around me doing, you see the pink shirts again? Like I said, I mentioned this a few days ago about Tranca. When they first targeted me here about nearly 3 years ago now, March 2023, I had about 15 people following me at night wearing pink shirts within the span of a couple of minutes. What are the odds of that? This is what they do. And this is it. This is what they like to do. Narcissists, sociopaths, they like to push just to the edge of what is acceptable in society. They want to go just to the edge of it, pushing boundaries. Just acceptable. It's kind of like how you see these women on beaches, resorts, wherever they may be. They're really pushing the boundaries with their outfits. And on social media too, they go just to the edge of what's acceptable socially. Like just to the point of almost breaking a law, but not doing it. Or doing it, but not getting caught. That's what they do. And it's because they're messed up. They're screwed up. Normal people, we don't want to cross that line. We don't want to cross people's boundaries. We don't want to make them uncomfortable. These people do. They have no boundaries. They have no identity, no sense of self. There's no place where they end and you begin. It's all enmeshment. But yeah, they're all gravitating here now, as you can see. Couldn't get away for long. But I'm already healing. As you can probably tell, you know, from the improvement now in my cognitive ability, I'm being more descriptive and more focused, answering questions. I was struggling to do that over there. You see how it's not just in my mind? And with the waves, it helps to calm me. This is it. And you can see the time frame, you know, going back March 2023 on my live videos. It all started to go downhill for me then. From that point on, I look like a zombie in my videos because of the gang stalking. You look at my videos before that, very calm, very relaxed, because I wasn't being gang stalked for hours a day then. You can see it in all of my videos. This is real. And of course you can see the people in the background, but in my videos before there were never any people. Whenever I went somewhere, I was alone. So yeah, there's tons of evidence, you know. So many people are just unaware. They're living fake lives. They're not living in truth. They're not awake. Anyone who thinks deeper, anyone who actually looks into things, pays attention to detail, can see all of this. They can see what's going on. They can see what these crazy gang stalkers are trying to do. And this is it, you know, they're never going to break me down. I am a fighter. And I am a truth teller. I'm going to keep telling the truth. And I think it's far past the point of any real person calling me crazy because I've got so much evidence. At this point, I must have filed like 100 claims with Airbnb and sent them like 1,000 recordings of the noise campaigns going on 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. every day in like 5 different countries, thousands of kilometers apart. No one can come to me and call me crazy at this point because I got all the evidence. So, you know, it's far past that. And that's just it. I'm more confident than anyone. These people, gang stalkers, of course they're insecure. If you're not insecure, then why do you have to hide? Why do you hide who you are? Why do you conceal yourself if you're not insecure? They don't even know who they are. They don't have any confidence in themselves. And that's how they're so unstable. They're one person from one moment to the next. They're fake, they're manipulators. They're just being whatever you want them to be, so that they don't get exposed or they don't get having to deal with the consequences. Because if you're confident, why hide? Why hide for? Why lie? Doesn't make any sense. It's because they know the things they do are not acceptable. But yeah, again, I apologize for the trolls. Hey, nearly 2 hours into this video, the trolls are still here. That's how you know they've got nothing better to do than to come onto a video that has nothing to do with them. I mean, shouldn't you be more focused on something that actually has something to do with you? But this is what they do. But yeah, from this point, I can appreciate this the city, this beautiful sea view, the developments over there, just the architecture. It's beautiful. Of course, you know, this is still very much an undeveloped city. But it's a gradual development. And, you know, it's nice. I like the architecture. It's very interesting. You know, it does kind of remind me of maybe a bit like Jakarta, Taipei, Tokyo, like that style of architecture. There's nothing wrong with that, you know, it's like corporates, like an office style. I'm not an architect myself, but I do appreciate the architecture of buildings. I can appreciate some things in cities because, of course, it is an art. Architects, they are artists. So, you know, it is quite impressive how they do it. Hello? Someone else coming over? I'm just doing a live video. This guy has some snakes. It's what? No teeth. All right. Some snakes. It looks like a cobra snake. I don't think this guy is not in the gang stalking or anything. this guy's just an ordinary guy. But this is what I mean, you know, there's a lot of people who are just mixed in. And that's another thing. You see how around some people, you see me running away, you see me getting irritated, and then around other people, there's no problem. I know the difference. It's just more evidence. How is that possible? And you know, there's no confusion on my part. I know who's a gang stalker and who's not. Sometimes I get paranoid, but a lot of times I do know the difference. But this is for you, you know, you can see how, you know, with some people, you could see me talking to them. I give a very different response, very different reaction, because I intuitively know. I know who's in on it and who's not. The reality is, some people go mentally ill. They're messed up in their heads. They're crazy. They're just really, they're sick people. And it's not me, I'm not hating on anyone. I'm not jealous of anyone, it's nothing like that. It's because of what they're doing to me. They're harassing me. And this is it, you know, this is what they do. They project it onto you. It's like, you know, what's your problem with people? Why don't you like people? And they make it out, you're just angry, you're just bitter, you're just jealous. No, it's because we're being harassed. That's why we're not happy. We just want to be left alone in peace. We're quite happy alone in our own company. Even if we've got to be isolated, even if we can't have any friends, any relationships, any support, fine. That's still better than being harassed all the time. You know? But yeah, anyway, 2 hours on cue. Nice to finish it by Gur though, you know, by the sea. I love the sea. And I love these waves, big waves. It's great. So here's the view for you. Here's the view for you. In Sri Lanka. See, I'm smiling now. I'm happy. I just love my own peace. And I love being in touch with nature. But yeah, I'm going to end this video here. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your validation, your reassurance. Of course, you know, it's very helpful during this difficult time where I'm dealing with these types of people. Because of course, you know, they want to make you crazy, they want to make you confused. Your validation and support, it really just calms my nerves, helps me to feel grounded. Thank you for that. And yeah, you can support this work by giving it a thumbs up. Drop a comment down below. Let me know if you have any questions. If you are new here, subscribe. Click all notifications so that you will be notified when I go live again. And check out my Instagram, TikTok. It's Narc Survivor Coaching. Daily videos on X, it's Narc Survivor 18. Facebook group, it's Narc Survivor. And my daily blog posts, or to book a one-on-one coaching session, go to the website. It's narcsurvivor.co.uk. And if you'd like to support this work, you can donate. Go to paypal.me/narcsurvivor. All right. That is it for this one. Live at the sea. Thank you all for joining me on another Narc Survivor live video. And I look forward to speaking with you in another live video very soon.